everybody. So somebody asked me on the channel, what am I going to do for 50 subscribers? And I was around 48 maybe. And I thought about it, and the next thing I know, I'm at 57. So thank you guys for liking, subscribing, and supporting the channel. It's truly a blessing, and thank you. I decided that I would get some metallic paint and paint black. So I also got some new brushes, so fun new projects in the future. But I've got these metallic colors, and I'm going to see how they're going to react to just black as far as the background, and they'll really pop. So let's go ahead and get to it. So I have selected all the colors I'm going to use. So I've got light purple and a darker purple. I've got a pink. Oops, sorry, don't want the red. Pink. I've got a lighter green, and I've got some lighter blues. I've got an orange, a rose gold, which will be interesting because there was no white in the kit. And I also have gold. So these should be interesting to work with. So I'm going to put these off to the side. And I've got my brushes. So we've got our paint and our brushes, and we're going to do this all on a black canvas. So stay tuned. Well, when you first start a painting, you want to figure out, do you want it to go landscape or do you want it to go portrait? So really up to you, but I am thinking I will probably go portrait, and we want to start off with the tree. So that's what I'm kind of envisioning, is a multicolored tree, very dramatic. We'll see how it goes. As always, it's just in my head, and then what comes out comes out. So you want to start off with a little piece of chalk to kind of chalk in where you're going to go. Chalk is amazing because with chalk, you can just erase it and just start all over. And I'm just going to go up and out and extend some branches coming off, and some more branches coming off, and maybe some little offshoots. And maybe we could even extend it out a little bit farther. But the beauty of chalk is you can't erase it. So just tear off a piece of paper towel, get it a little bit wet, and this serves as an eraser. So you can erase some of the marks that you might not want to actually use. Oh, I think that's just a little too thick up there. So I'm just gonna erase that a little bit. You do want this to dry before you proceed, because chalk and water are not really good best friends. So anyway, we've got our tree. We've got the roots of the tree, and we're going to start to, let's see. I'm going to just let that dry a little bit more. Well, it's pretty dry. Well, anyway, we'll drop that down so we have just skinnier branches, basically. All right, so to start off with our base of our tree, we want something that's kind of brown. So I'm going to start off with a little bit of gold, and these are brand new. So, ooh, that's dark. I was hoping for something a little bit more yellow. That's really metallic too. Okay, we'll see how it goes. So I think I want to use this one, and I want to start with very wispy lines. So we're just going to start to create this. And just go up where the tree trunk chalk marks are. And it just looks like I'm painting black on black. All right, well, maybe this will be a good base for it. Oh no, never worked with metallic colors like that. Usually they just have a hint of metallic to them. All right, well, we pretty much have the base of our tree. We are going to add more colors to it, but there we go. And we'll add our little branches, or at least start to build it up. Now the chalk is erasable. I don't really want to work with it while I'm painting, or erase it while I'm painting, I should say. I'm clearly working with it while I'm painting, but it'll smear your paint. So in the end, when everything dries, then you can go ahead and remove it. All right, so I've got my base. I guess you can kind of see that in the reflection. All right. I'm going to use this orange. I think hopefully this will warm it up a little bit. So I've got this orange color. It's called pearl orange. That so far doesn't look metallic, but it is definitely orange. So that will warm things up. Now I think we'll go light here, maybe someone shined a light on this tree, and a little bit more of a shadow in the back. So it'll be warmest right here. So we'll try this orange, and we'll just cross over into that metallic gold, which I guess it dries a little differently, so that's good. So we'll warm it up with adding a little bit of this pearl orange. And we'll keep this orange closer to the front, just so it's a little warmer. You can add a couple strokes back here. We could also try to layer them later. We'll see how that goes. All right. So now we want to add, let's add a little bit of green so we can see what we got. So this is a pearl forest green, and oh, that's pretty. It's a very bright color, but it is very pretty. It really does have a pearlescentness to it. I want to add maybe a couple little brush strokes of grasses towards the bottom. I'm kind of layering it on thick. It's kind of pretty when it's a little thicker. All right, so we got a little bit of green. I think we want to go ahead and maybe add some in the tree. Now this is a darker green, so maybe we'll add it a little bit farther up. I'm just taking my brush and just creating these little brush strokes that just kind of look reminiscent of leaves. So, and we could probably overlap too. We'll just take a couple of brush strokes here and there and kind of start to fill in the middle. All right, really interesting when it dries. Okay, so I'm going to use the lighter green, and I'm going to start to separate what I've already used. But there's a lighter pearl green. This one's kind of pretty. We'll just add that to the palette. And we'll just add a few strokes of this here and excuse me, we'll add a few strokes of this here and there. A little brighter, so I'm gonna not oversaturate it, just a few here and there. And we'll add a couple up here, mostly in the front section. All right. So now I'm feeling let's start to add a little bit darker blue. And maybe even purple. So this is Pearl Ocean Blue. That is pretty. And we'll add some of this blue towards the shadowy side of the tree. It's like there's a piece of hair from one of the brushes, maybe. All right, so now I want to use a purple. So we've got a pearl purple, and this ought to be interesting. Ooh, that's pretty, bright. And I'm just gonna add a couple, I'm thinking maybe we'll go up here and start to add some of this towards the top. All right, well, let's add a little bit of a lighter one. So this is a pearl light purple. So this is looking a little more pink. It's a little more pastel. And we want to add this closer to where it's lighter. Maybe some of our little petals are falling down. All right, I am thinking I want to use a darker pink, so I've got a pearl pink. We'll see if it's that bright. The orange is pretty bright. And that pink is also pretty bright. Pretty. Okay. So we'll go ahead and touch into some of the pink. Oh, that is so pretty. All right, I'm wondering if we should blend these two to get something a little darker, but I don't know how to do that. They're very bright, almost pastel-y. Well, let's try the blue and the green together and see what that looks like. Interesting, kind of a teal. I'm just adding a little bit of purple down the side of the tree. Maybe the tree needs some more green. And I'm actually going to squeeze a little bit more out onto the palette. I kind of like how the paint's a bit chunky when it goes on. I just kind of blob it on. I think it'll be pretty when it dries. It'll just sort of attract the white and just really vibrate that color. All right, I think we're just gonna let that dry for a little bit, but it sure is pretty and sparkly. All right, we let it dry for a little bit, and now I'm gonna go in and add just some more touches of color here and there. I'm gonna start off with gold, and we're just gonna go back in and just add some more brush strokes to illuminate it. I'm kind of creating random brush strokes to kind of give it a overall feel and not so concentrated on one color. Now we can go back into the grass and just give it a little thicker coat. I'm going to add a little bit more green, and we'll go into the tree leaves again. Just layering it up and thickening it up and just creating texture. We can also go into a little bit more pink and add more pops of color with the pink. Maybe add a little bit of a lighter pink to this. Basically, we're just layering all the different colors again. Just creating more layers. I am using water to erase some of the chalk marks. You probably want to wait until this fully dries, but sometimes you can add a little water to your brush and lift most of the chalk off. It will sometimes sneak back. Just let it completely dry and then just take a wet paper towel or a wet washcloth and just wipe it clean. Very important that the paint is dry, especially when you have chunky paint, because it dries, it skins over, but it's still wet inside, so you could break the seal and then it smears. I'm going to go back into the orange and add a little bit of brightness to my tree trunk. A little bit more gold. And just tone down a little bit of that orange. And there you have it, guys, a black canvas with pearlescent metallic paint. Fun project. Anyway, guys, thanks for liking, thanks for subscribing, and we'll see you in the next one, guys. Add more touches if you feel you need to, but we are done.